On this week's episode of I-45 Confidential, going back to the beginning, this episode contains snippets from the first 5 episodes of the podcast. It shows our evolution and how far we've come. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you go back and listen to the other episodes. And on behalf of the confidants from I-45 Confidential Podcast, we thank you for being a listener.
You are about to witness a conversation, a confidential conversation between lifelong friends. For more than 3 decades, they've laughed, cried, yelled, danced, traveled, and learned together. They are experts in nothing, but experienced in life. Welcome to the conversation, and welcome to I-45 Confidential.
Episode 1, Black Card.
What's a black card to you guys? Like, how do I get a black card and how do I lose it?
Kelly, you have one?
I don't think I have one.
You don't have a black card?
I don't think so.
Kelly has one.
Kelly has one.
It's just real light. It's
Just a little light skin.
When I grew up and then college and then where I live now.
You grew up in white spaces.
And we all grew up in white spaces.
I grew up in the hood, baby.
You did?
I sure did.
Yeah.
100% without a D's out. I grew up in the hood.
And you have the most diction of anyone here.
Well, I had my girl, you know.
You were taught to speak proper.
I was taught to speak a certain way.
That's right.
But I definitely grew up in the hood around all black people. I don't even know how I ended up marrying white people. I have no idea.
Weren't your grandparents educators? Your grandmother an educator and your mom?
Grandmother, my mom, my grandfather, and then he went to do aviation. But yeah.
So you're like 4 generations of
my dad,
culture.
My dad, yeah.
Of education. And that's education makes a big difference in your where you live, how you grow. It makes a big difference.
But if I told my grandmother I was hungry, that in my mind, like I can hear her right now telling me I'm saying it wrong. Because hungry, you had to pronounce the word. You couldn't just say, I'm hungry. It was you had to pronounce it a certain way. Couldn't do it.
I think when you move in black spaces, it's very different. It's very different. First of all, colorism changes everything. And then education changes everything. They see you completely different depending on what shade you are on the scale.
When you open your mouth.
And what you say. And that's it.
But do we do differently? Do we perceive each other differently till we hear each other speak?
I do.
That?
I do. Sometimes.
I think that we do unconsciously.
Right.
I think we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't.
You sure about that?
You and I all grew up in the same white space. And so white people don't think of us as different. They just think of us all as black. And so it doesn't feel.
But we're different.
So you open your mouth.
We're different kind of black.
And not even just the white people that I never knew Old Town Spring existed until I got to like middle high school.
Yeah.
And when I did, then people judged me because I spoke proper. Most of my friends were white at that point. It was different. It was always different for me.
Yeah.
And I look
it goes
different.
back to what we said. Yeah, I was just asking you guys. So what's the difference between professional and proper? But nobody gave a real answer because proper is also being considered being professional.
Well,
we all keep on using the word proper.
As a child, I spoke properly, but I wasn't in a professional setting.
Proper is just following the grammatical rules. Now, as somebody who's an educator that works with reading language arts, the grammar rules of when to use these type of verbs and nouns and stuff like that. So to me, proper is just following the grammatical rules, syntax. But when we're talking professional, I think that changes also not just the words you use, but the tone of voice that you use.
What about this? What about verbiage and cadence? Because I could be like the guy who used to be on, what was it called, you guys?
The Office?
No, not The Office. In Living Single, the guy who was in the prison. My exploratory situation of the significance.
Oh, you mean T.I.?
Yeah. That's somebody who just knows big words, but not the definitions of the big words. You've learned the big words, you just don't know the definitions.
And then there's that, but the cadence and the verbiage that he's using make people think. And it's a good Jedi mind trick. I'm making you think I know what I'm saying. I just know that it rhymes and it sounds good.
But so we're talking about T.I. and that brought me back to back. you said that he did not know the words he didn't know the definitions of the words. But sometimes I'm writing something or I'm thinking something and a word comes up and I just use it, but I have to go back and look because I read so much as a child and as an adult. I'm like, am I even using the right word? Because I don't look up the definitions. I just know it in context. So maybe he does the same thing. I don't know.
That just reminds me of the way Black people pronounce certain things, and we do it on purpose when we're with each other.
Maybe with each other, yes.
Yeah, like scrimp. I don't know where that came from, but
What'd you say?
Dallas.
Dallas?
That came from Dallas.
Scream.
The street, yeah,
That came from
Screet. Not
it's,
street, screet.
and not you do it on purpose. You again, you code switch. If they doing it, we gonna do it. We gonna do it too. And you want to be part of that group.
I think I do it just to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But also, too, sometimes in my mind, I can see the word proper, right? Quote unquote proper. But I try so hard to flip it and make it street, but I can't. For the life of me, I can't make it street.
Example.
Scrimp.
Okay.
Scrimp is one. I can see it in my mind right now. I can see how it's spelled out. But when I want to say it, it's going to still come out of shrimp. I have a heart. I don't know why I can't switch that up.
You've been trained professionally.
I guess.
What I've been doing lately, I have a new job, you guys all know, and I'm in a white space. Like everyone there is white, and
Like everyone here.
like
Most of the time.
yeah, and
Not me, baby. I'm in a hood.
and
No, I'm in the.
yeah, and so I've been teaching them words, code switching words.
So this is a conversation you had with
Let me
them.
pause you right there. You just got your black card revoked.
I was going to say,
Because
you heard
now
me.
you're telling secrets.
Oh, baby.
Some
Why
stuff
you bringing them
folks
to the
ain't supposed to
cookout?
know.
No, ma'am.
Tell everybody everything.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. We got to gatekeep our
Everybody
word.
can know everything.
Okay.
No.
Chef.
But are they using this as a
Kim,
joke?
can you please get the stamp? Revoke that card.
No, it's a good word.
Revoke it.
No.
It's a good word.
Do they
Let's
know?
hear it. Let's hear the
wait.
word.
First of all,
Let's hear the word.
Do they know that you are teaching them code switching, or you just teaching them words?
Oh no, they know.
Let's hear the
No,
word.
They
that's
know.
even
But did-
worse.
What's the word?
After with you or at you
preface
at
it.
it? Okay.
I preface it. I always preface it. I say, you know what Black people call it when you go to a lunch and you eat a lot and then you come back to work and you can't work?
You better not say the itis.
The itis.
Why?
I didn't talk to
They
Black
don't
people the
need
itis.
it.
And then I'll go to them after lunch and go, what's it called
They don't need
when
to know all
Black
of
people
that.
eat a lot and then they can't work after lunch? It's called the itis. Very good.
Oh my
You're-
God.
and they're gonna be-
laughing with you or
Guys,
at
so thank you so much for tuning in. Unfortunately, this is not something that we all condone.
Hold on.
Definitely
She's
not.
been
Did you
revoked.
just
Definitely not.
tell them itis, or did you give them the whole word? Because there's a whole
No,
word.
I didn't give them the
Okay,
whole
then.
word. I don't go that
Okay.
deep.
All right.
You're setting your
I
people
just-
up for failure.
They don't
Making
need
sure.
to know.
They
They don't need to
No,
know.
they don't need to know.
We got to
they
gatekeep our
definitely
words.
can't
We got to
use it.
gatekeep our
Yeah.
community.
Can we
this
have
is why-
anything?
I don't have the black card because I'm like, there's a whole word.
Oh my God.
What? Wait a minute.
Kelly, I'm going
Wait.
to kick you.
Y'all know she's
Wait a
a little bit
minute.
younger than us. She
Yeah.
I'm younger.
She ain't that much younger.
No, she's
You don't
not.
know what the itis is?
I know what the itis is. I didn't know there was
whole word.
more to that word.
Wait, I don't know the words that we shall overcome.
We know some of it.
I don't think
I know-
anybody knows
I
the
know a
words.
third.
All the words.
I know
We
a
shall
third.
overcome.
That's what I'm going to say. I know a third.
I feel like we're judged based upon how we speak to society, whether Black America, educated America, we are judged based upon how we speak.
You
And-
judged me today, and it wasn't by my speech. You judged me because I'd never had. Said that about Kool-Aid.
I was surprised. Yeah.
Episode 2, Unpopular Opinions.
What is your unpopular opinion? Do you have an unpopular opinion?
About what? Just
anything?
No, you may need to describe it to them like you described it to me.
It was the men. Okay.
But we just did it.
Like
Yeah.
something that you don't, there's a popular opinion you just don't agree with, you think of something that people won't agree with.
Okay, I got one.
Oh, go ahead now.
I got one.
We're not
Unpopular
editing this.
opinion, ladies, if you've reached a certain age and you have not been married, stop looking. It's over. You missed that boat.
Wow.
You think completely stop
Oh, yes.
Really?
What you
Y'all-
mean?
To a certain extent, yes.
Yeah, you missed that boat.
Wow.
Yes, because I had
Wow.
that conversation all the time.
What you mean
After-
stop looking?
After a
It's
certain
over.
age, because some women still holding on to that dream of, I'm going to get married and all this here. And I'm like, hey, y'all, at a certain point, I don't know if you still should be looking for that. Maybe you ought to be looking, if it happens,
Oh,
cool.
your type? changes, you mean?
No,
you mean
because if you've been single all this time, and all of a sudden now you think you're gonna move in some dude with you,
and you gonna actually listen and submit.
Yeah, you've been single all this time, living in your house, living your way, doing your
Okay,
thing.
but is that different to a woman who's been married and is single again?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm being.
that's
let's be
different.
I think
specific.
that's
Now-
the difference.
That's
Yeah,
different.
I think that's
So
different.
we have more of a chance, ladies. We good. Thank you.
Because some of them been married, and some of them just ain't finna go back down the
Because
road.
let's keep it a buck. Some of y'all married to the wrong motherfucking dude.
Oh no, we know.
And I ain't,
Ain't nobody looking at you.
I ain't giving you the side eye.
Adrian did just like this.
Some of y'all,
Did he? He gave me-
some of y'all married
Side eye.
the wrong
because
dude.
we know who
I
you
mean,
married.
It's okay.
We know.
Said it
we
from
know.
the beginning.
Yes, Kim said it from the get go.
Day one.
All right now.
I don't like it.
I don't,
Hey,
I don't
hey,
like it.
hey, this is my baby's daddy still. And you know how y'all know how I feel. I ain't gonna
Yes.
say it.
Yes.
Right.
I ain't getting into that. but yeah, it's different. But like I actually know some people who never been married, no kids, then managed to, they have their own houses, they have their own lives. And I'm like, you really want to move somebody in and you want to listen and submit to
Work
that.
through that.
Because it is a portion of submission. You're right.
Yeah,
It could
yeah.
be
All
still
of a
your
sudden
house,
you
but
feel
as your
you know.
husband,
He's the
There's a
head
portion.
and are you willing to follow? And you've been making your own way. Shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Quick. Before I
Okay.
forget mine.
Okay. Go ahead. No, I'm not. Gonna
we
forget mine.
50,
Go
we will
ahead.
forget.
Go ahead.
So, did I forget already?
All right.
Oh, damn.
So,
Man.
That wasn't even 30 seconds that time.
Oh, menopause, y'all. Go ahead, Kim.
See, she forgot.
Fish and Finding Nemo. What's her name?
a lot.
Dory.
I just got
Can't
that. That
remember.
was good.
Just keep.
That was good.
Just
keep swimming.
Where am I going?
Y'all let her get it in quick.
Okay, so here's my. You've said this a couple of times, and I just want to know your definition of submit, or both of your definitions of submit.
Oh, so that.
To be honest, willing to compromise
Okay. Okay.
and work to a solution.
Okay.
Because some of you are not there.
Y'all kind of set in y'all ways.
Yeah.
Now, what do you constitute as setting your ways?
If you've been doing something this way all the time.
What is your unpopular opinion? Do you have an unpopular opinion
About what? Just
anything?
No, you may need to describe it to them like you described it to me.
It was the men. Okay.
But we just did it. Like,
Yeah.
Something that you don't. There's a popular opinion you just don't agree with. You think of something that people won't agree with.
Okay, I got one.
Oh, go ahead now.
I got one.
not
Unpopular
editing this.
opinion, ladies, if you've reached a certain age and you have not been married, stop looking. It's over. You missed that boat.
wow.
You think completely stop looking?
Really?
What you
Y'all-
mean?
To a certain extent, yes.
Yeah, you missed that boat.
Wow.
Yes, because I had
Wow.
that conversation all the time.
What you mean?
After-
Stop looking.
After a
It's
certain
over.
age, because some women still holding on to that dream of, I'm gonna get married and all this here. And I'm like, hey, y'all, at a certain point, I don't know if you still should be looking for that. Maybe you ought to be looking. If it happens,
Oh,
cool.
your type changes, you mean?
If it happens,
No, he means
because if you've been single
over.
all this time, and all of a sudden now you think you're gonna move in some dude with you.
And you gonna actually
And you
listen
gon-
and submit?
Yeah, you've been single all this time, living in your house, living your way,
shit
doing your
Okay,
thing.
but is that different to a woman who's been married and is single again?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm being.
Now that's
let's be
different.
I think
specific.
that's
Now-
the difference.
Now
different.
that's
Yeah,
different.
I think that's
So
different.
we have more of a chance, ladies. We good. Thank you.
Because some of them been married, and some of them just ain't finna go back down the
Because
road.
let's keep it a buck. Some of y'all married to the wrong motherfucking dude.
Oh no, we know.
And I ain't,
Ain't nobody looking at you.
I ain't giving you the side eye.
Just like this. Adrian did just like this.
Some of y'all,
Did he? He gave me-
some of y'all married
Side eye.
married the wrong
because we
dude.
know
I
who you
mean,
married.
It's okay.
We know.
Said it
we
from
know.
the beginning.
Yes, Kim said it from the get go.
Day one.
All right now.
I don't like it.
I don't, I don't like it.
Hey, this is my baby's daddy still. And you know how y'all know how I feel. I ain't gonna
Yes.
say it.
Yes.
Right.
I ain't getting into that. but yeah, it's different. But like I actually know some people who never been married, no kids, then managed to, they have their own houses, they have their own lives. And I'm like, you really want to move somebody in and you want to listen and submit to
Work
that.
through that.
Because it is a portion of submission. You're right.
Yeah,
It could
yeah.
be
All
still
of a
your
sudden
house,
you
but
feel
as your
you know.
husband,
He's the
There's a
head
portion.
and are you willing to follow? And you've been making your own way. Shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Quick, before I
Okay.
forget mine.
Okay, go ahead. No, I'm not gonna
We
forget mine,
50,
so
we
go
will
ahead.
forget.
Go ahead.
So, did I forget already?
All right.
Oh, damn.
So,
That wasn't even 30 seconds that time.
Yo, menopause, y'all. Go ahead, Kim.
See, she forgot.
Fish and Finding Nemo. What's her name?
a lot.
Dory.
I just got
Can't
that. That
remember.
was good.
Just keep.
That was good.
Just keep swimming. Where am I going?
Y'all let her get it in quick.
Okay, so here's my. You said this a couple of times, and I just want to know your definition of submit, or both of your definitions of submit.
Oh, let's go with that.
To be honest, willing to compromise
Okay.
and work to a solution.
Okay.
Because some of you are not there.
Y'all kind of set in y'all ways.
Yeah.
Now, what do you constitute as setting your ways?
If you've been doing something this way all the time, you ain't gonna let nobody come in and tell you different.
Give me an example.
Let's see.
You should cut
That's
that
not
chicken
really
like
true,
that.
Cut that.
Oh,
no, I don't know. I don't know if y'all gonna
Y'all
fight
know I
over
get
chicken.
sensitive when it comes to food. Wait a minute. What you mean cut my chicken
Yeah,
different?
okay.
Wait a minute.
That's a whole nother subject. I am too.
Episode 3, BDE.
Everybody in this room at one time or another, y'all give big energy. And sometimes y'all give little energy.
Yeah.
Who in your life has consistently given you big energy? I don't mean sex. Who has given you that big energy in your life? And it might sound a little weird coming from, because you might say my dad, or I hope you don't, but maybe you will.
I have to say it. I have this.
We know you got BDE most of the time, Shell.
I don't try to, Elise.
But you do.
I don't try to. Yeah, I'm a kind-hearted person. So I just think that I'm forced to carry it.
You think so?
I think so.
You don't think you were born with it?
Yeah, I was born with it.
Okay.
Because my mama had it.
There it is.
Who really what born with it?
Yes, she had it. She had it. She said what she meant, and she meant what she fucking said.
Right.
And just like that.
And just like that.
Mm.
And you wasn't going to cross her. You weren't going to ask her why.
I bet you better not.
What about that Christmas when you didn't get your present and she held it from you?
You see what I'm saying?
You did. Yes. So you didn't get the present that you thought would have traumatized you from your childhood. Because she told me the story earlier.
Yeah. Because, I always got whatever I wanted. There wasn't a Christmas I didn't get what I wanted. And so this Christmas I wanted a keyboard. So I opened up all my gifts, no keyboard. So I'm walking around, somebody hurt me. My mom said, "You all right?" I said, "I'm fine.
You gangster.
I'm fine. Okay. We eating or whatever. You sure you're okay?" "I'm fine, Mom. Fine." Girl, I'm crying. I'm trying to hold it back. And Mom come out with the keyboard. "You so ungrateful."
You obviously
That's what
never
your
had a
raggedy
Charlie
ass
Brown
did.
Christmas. I had a Charlie Brown Christmas. Okay, right there in Spring, Texas. I don't know what happened that year. Eddie not here to tell the story. I should ask Joff. But Sean went into the back of the woods. There was woods in the back of the house before we did it, and cut down a little Charlie Brown Christmas tree. We had one of those one year.
Oh,
I know it's sad, huh?
no, it's cute.
It wasn't cute. I think cute.
It was cute that he made sure that y'all had a Christmas tree. He wants y'all to have a Christmas tree.
It was literally a Charlie Brown.
I mean,
So sad.
but he was stepping up and trying to make it give y'all a Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing the best he could.
He was, I guess so. I love my brother, but he's a true meaning of a friend of me.
But I think he has
BDE.
I think he carries himself well. The couple of times I've been around him, he carries himself well. It's not like strong, like it's not like overpowering.
No, he's got
but
big
he's
energy.
got something
what's
about him.
Hilarious that a lot of my friends, if not all of y'all motherfuckers, have had a
Except
little
for me.
crush. Except Michelle, because you've known him longer than anybody else, has had a little crush on him. And me and my sister like to tell him, I don't get it.
I'll say this: I really don't have a crush. I just think it's funny when I say I'm going to marry him.
Yeah, she likes
I
to say
think that's
shit.
funny, but I don't really.
You
have a
say
crush
more
on
than
him.
that
Yeah.
over the years. Yes, true.
I wonder sometimes. I don't do black.
There we go. Oh, damn. Here we
the
go.
members has to
Okay.
not advocate everything the others say.
There's a reason
We've
why I
been
don't.
friends
don't
because
say-
we all tolerate our own shit.
Oh, but maybe you want to rephrase that. The kid.
No, she said what she meant.
No, I don't
said
think
what
she
the
meant it
fuck
that
she
way.
said. That's
Just that
what I'm
BDE
saying.
energy.
Yeah, that is a BDE. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sing yourself.
With big balls.
Okay, let me explain.
I love black men.
Okay, I love them too.
Okay.
My father was a black man.
You know what? Shut up. Don't do that. Don't do that. My father was a black man. Yes.
No, yeah, we don't need to qualify. Go ahead and
Okay, well, I got to qualify like those people who say, yeah, I got a black friend.
I know, right?
I got to say that. Okay.
Okay.
The thing is, what happened was when my father got sick from cancer and I saw him in compromising positions, because you have to do that when people get sick, I felt a certain way about black men, and I only saw them as non-sexual. I only see them as non-sexual at this point. Every black man I see is either my brother or my cousin or my father.
But you don't even see like a black man say, and I realize we're older, so we're not looking at these young boys like, ooh, he has a nice body, but say it.
Speak for yourself.
Well, okay, nasty. Like an Idris or whatever, age appropriate. And think that, I would do that.
No, it's that little cousin who turned out real handsome, but he's still your little cousin.
No, I ain't talking about family. So I'm saying, no, not family member.
I feel that way about every black man. I don't know why. Every one of them.
So you see them all in a non-sexual way, more like a cousin.
All of them?
All of them.
Like,
and you see them like that because of your father's illness?
Yeah. When I saw my father.
What about before your father's illness? So we both, at least, we've seen you with a black man before.
Yeah, I did. I did date black men, and I still love the way a black man smells.
I remember you told me that.
Oh my God, that smells so good.
God.
It is different. It's the pheromones.
Even when it's a little sweaty.
I still.
Notice she said
a little bit. Very little.
Their own scent.
Yes. Yeah. But
natural.
But it's just I don't know. It's just a thing. Maybe I need to talk to my therapist about it.
I think you do.
I need to talk to my therapist because my father's illness was quite traumatic for me. And because he was like a king, and to see him dwindle and see his prowess.
That's what I was about to ask you. Is it because of the simple fact that the illness took him down to where you're like, you know what? That's not how my dad was supposed to be. My dad has never. He's always been deteriorate. He's always been 17 foot tall. Period.
Yeah.
Period. 17 feet.
Yeah.
Walk into a room, darkness comes over because he's covering up the sky.
And not only that, but at one point he was sick, and then the doctor was there, and they had to change him. And then you see him he's in a compromising position.
Yeah.
So you see now that man who was Superman is just now a mere mortal.
Yeah, and also I had to see parts of his body when he was sick. And so I cannot unassociate it. And maybe I should see somebody about it.
But okay, yeah. So what if you saw like your husband, who's not black, you saw him deteriorate that way? God forbid.
Yeah.
But that happened, do you think you would then be turned off from Arab-looking men?
No, because I already have an intimate relationship with him. I didn't have the same intimate relationship with my father when I saw him. But you know what I'm saying by that?
I got you.
That's different. I think it's quite different. And my dad even had a discussion about it before.
But you've never looked at your husband like a supernatural man either.
No.
Got it.
No, I've never looked at any of my partners in that way.
None of them had BDE?
For having the
BDE
complex that you have?
Huh?
Do you think that's one of the reasons that why you have such a
BDE?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because for real, you come in.
Guns blazing.
She was born that way.
For real. Tripod.
Yeah, I do.
Baby arm.
I don't mean to.
No, but
I think that's just you.
Way.
Yeah, it's just you. It's just something about you.
All women have to have the BDE.
But when you step in a room, not all women, because there's some women
you're right.
that
I'm sorry.
are just
everybody in this room.
Whatever. But I'm saying
this room right here.
You know, I know that when I step into a room, you're going to look at me. I know that I have a presence and you're going to look at me. I know that. I don't even try. Today I was in a grocery store and I just simply walked past this lady. I was on the phone looking for peanut butter. And this lady said, "Oh my God, you're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen."
Lies.
I said, "Thank you, baby." But it's just, I was just looking old plain like I am looking right now. She just kept saying, "From your hair all the way down, you're just beautiful." I'm like, "Thank you." And she kept trying to talk to me and I just kept going. Because I was in a hurry. Normally I would have stopped and I would have talked to her, but it's
she
just
sensed your big.
I'm just saying, it's just something, you put something out, like it's just a light and it just comes out brighter than others. And some people just won't let their light be shine.
I don't mean with
dimmed.
You. With you, it's light.
Right. with me, I feel like I feel like there's a light in me. And I feel like that's what makes people want to tell me their secrets, or like people tell me stuff I know that they don't tell other people.
Episode 4, Are You Your Kid's Friend?
Are you your children's friend? Baby, I'm not your little friend. I told Callie last night. Oh, she was saying, I'm sorry, I called and I was crying and I apologized. And I'm like, it's okay. I'm not one of your little friends, but I'm your momfident. She was like, yes, you are, mama. You are. You are.
You know how we had this conversation last night about how you don't think your children are your friend, like blah, blah, blah. And a lot of people feel that way. I don't necessarily, because one of my kids is like one of my best friends because we talk all the time. But I understand people's feelings about that as well. Like, I'm never going to be your friend because I'm coming from, that's what you said, Shelly. So Kim and I were talking last time, like, there's got to be something in between. So we came up with this momfidant to momfident. But we came up with something else too. I can't remember the other one.
I don't know. I just know I'm a momfident.
Momfidant.
I'm a momfident.
Okay, and I'll be a momfidant. We can have both.
You have both, yeah, and whatever. But I never want her to feel like I don't even want the boy to feel like I don't ever want them to feel like how I felt growing up, that I couldn't go talk to my mom like you and the boys. They can't come and talk to me. And like you were saying last night, sometimes the stuff that they say is very cringe.
Very.
A lot of the stuff that mine say is extremely cringy. But I listen because I want them to feel confident knowing that I'm not going to judge them. I'm not going to scream, holler, whatever. I'm just going to listen and give my honest opinion.
Or not give an opinion.
Sometimes they don't want an opinion.
As their mother, that's the reason why I can't say I can't be my child's friend. My child comes to me and we have a very open relationship. But I just need her to know that there are certain boundaries, because I can't, if I feel like she's going to be hurt, I know that I have to step in. I can't be a friend who says, I'm going to step back. I just can't. I'm her mama.
You know what, Shell? But you're going to have to learn to step back sometimes.
I know I have to learn how, but doesn't mean that I don't feel a certain way about it.
No, you can feel that way. We all feel a way. But you can't always say, you should not always express it. You should not, because they have to be able to dig themselves out of it. They got to be able to figure it out for themselves.
I'm having a problem with her right now where...
Doesn't mean you can't tell the story.
Yeah. So she was at work and she's at school and she's not really focusing on school. She's at home. She's, 20. It's okay. You can quit your job, honey, and focus on school. She quit her job. She's not focusing on school. She's not, because now she has too much time on her hands. So I called her father. Thank God we have a pretty good relationship when it comes to parenting our child. And he says, let her fail. I said, I'm her mother. I can't let her fail. He says, you got to let her fail. This is her responsibility. She has to understand there's consequences, and that's her failure. You can't, it's life. You can't. And it was just and so he did come to my rescue and tried his best to kind of talk to her about what was going on instead of just letting it go, because he knew that how I felt about it.
And he's right, though. He's right. You have to. I literally this morning had that conversation with Callie, and she was saying, I think the problem with Kobe sometimes is y'all didn't let him fail. He had a very cushy, soft life. And now things that he should have learned when he was younger, he's now learning as an adult because y'all didn't let him just be. And he's having a hard time because she wants him to take the certification, which he needs to go take the certification for IT. And so he was saying, like, what if I fail? I don't think he'll fail because he's really bright. But that's what she was saying. Like, y'all never let him fail. Like, he didn't fail. He doesn't know how to fail.
When my daughter was sitting in front of me and I was asking her about her grades, I don't ask about it. I've let her do it. And she was so uncomfortable. And I looked at her and I realized something. My daughter's never been in discomfort. It's discomfort. When she doesn't want to do something, she's uncomfortable. Her life has been nothing but comfort.
And it's hard for them to be uncomfortable.
They cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, like for real. They think they're entitled. Mm-hmm. They think that they cannot be touched.
Why? Why are we the way we are?
Society.
Because of our parent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he knows.
The reason why our kids are like, because we give them so many things. They have access to so many things. We've allowed them to do. We are the way we are because of our parents, and they are the way they are because of the parents that they have. We have given our children way too much.
No, I agree with. I don't disagree with you, because we've had access to more than our parents did. You know what I mean?
And that's generational too. That's generational.
You know better, so you're going to do better.
Yeah.
That's the thinking. That's the mindset.
But some
breaking a generational curse or whatever it is, my kid coming to me or whatever. And you just said about these kids feel entitled and we have to you're treating them a certain way. I do not envy you guys that are raising children in this day and age, because I'm not a gentle parent.
And
I'm
it's
not
so hard. It's
I'm
so
not.
hard.
And I'm not going to gentle parent to you. You're going to figure it out. If you can't figure it out, you're gonna catch his hands. Not like that.
No, but see, that's
we gonna have a real conversation.
The laying of my hands.
We gonna have a real conversation, and if I break my nail with this real conversation in this belt, it's gonna be a problem.
Yours is not scared enough. I'm just joking, people.
Look, I thought he was.
Sort of not really.
He's a little bit better now, though, because we have started doing some counseling and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm learning how to talk to him and not at him, because when I talk at him, he shuts down. I have to talk to him and we can have a conversation. If he's mad, I have to stop and say, I use big words like, what triggered that, Brooklyn?
See, that wouldn't work for me.
It doesn't work for a lot of people.
I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't work for a whole...
And I know that sounds horrible, but you triggered. I'm triggered by your behavior.
Exactly.
I'm triggered that I got to come to this school. I'm triggered that you didn't wash a dish. I'm triggered. I'm going to show you triggered. And that's how I talk to my kids. And they knew, okay, let me fix this problem.
I've never physically disciplined my daughter.
I was going to ask that question. Who here has...
I've never physically disciplined her. But she was born premature. And there's just, every time I just see that little fragile little girl, and she knows it.
Brooklyn was premature too. And that little motherfucker is crazy.
But that's a little boy. That's a little boy.
Yes.
Little girls are little...
Listen, our boys are just as cute as your little girl. Okay?
I didn't say they were cute. The little boy, it ain't the same when you're a little girl.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
I don't have both.
I tell this story to the kids because I work with kids. I'm at a middle school, and the girls will cry. And I tell the girls, I am unfazed by tears, baby, because my daughter started crying on cue at the age of 2. She can come in this room and I can say cry, and she'll bust out in tears. I'm unfazed by tears. It's the same when you have to discipline her. But disciplining her, she only needed it. I think I spanked her maybe up until not a lot, but I probably stopped spanking her when she was 6. Because with her, if she did something wrong, she's going to remember what she did and she's going to fix that problem. And she's not going to do it again. Kobe, he was probably getting beat up. Oops, let me choose that.
He was being disciplined.
Kobe was being disciplined probably up until he was like, I don't know. I may catch him, I don't know, last week. I don't know.
I ain't got a chance
Jordan
in
was
hell.
disciplined, like, seriously. It seemed like almost every day.
Yeah.
And when he was about 7 or 8 years old, it was the last time I spanked him, because I was like, this is doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It does nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And like shortly after then, we didn't have him. And it's usually problems with school. It wasn't really at home. He was a hyper ass kid, which I would never allow to put on any drugs because his grades weren't suffering. Right. You're going to have to deal with it. Sorry, teachers. And then it calmed down after a while. You know what I mean? And he's a chill dude.
Yeah.
Episode 4, a male's role in the relationship. We all know that things change. And so we're trying to get your male point of view, the things that have changed when it comes to black man's role in the relationship. What ways have you seen it change?
One thing, let's go ahead and put this out here first. Anybody who was born under 2000, this applies to.
Okay.
It applies to them more than anything else, because people that were born in 2000 and on up, unless they have a stable foundation that they were brought up in, they wouldn't understand what we're talking about when it comes to relationships and men and women's roles or whatnot. So I'm talking to mostly us, adults.
You wouldn't go back further than 2000?
No.
Like maybe 95?
Oh, no, that's good.
Because that's our children's age is what I...
Under 2000.
Because 2000 to right now, that's 24 years old. They don't know anything.
No.
They fresh. And people that were born, I'm not going to throw this out blanket. If they were born in 2000 and above, they don't know. Anybody below that, they have people like us that have at least shown or they have saw some type of structure. Even if they don't like it, they've seen the structure. So they can see the differences. So that's where I'm going to start from. When it comes to a traditional male, black male, a lot of us, traditional black men, we want to provide for our families. We want to do the right thing. But a lot of times adversity comes in, and men nowadays, those same men in that time frame, they give up too fast. So it's easier to just abandon what I have and go find something else. So that's not a good trait that we're putting out there now, because the people above, the younger kids now, they see that, oh, I'm just going to jump from this person. So when you're in a traditional relationship, it needs to be put out there. There's going to be good times, there's going to be bad times. So for a black man, we need to understand what type of playing field that we're dealing with. So you might not be able to make that $100,000 a year. That's possible. It's just in the cards sometimes. So when you have a home or a girlfriend and wife or whatever that you're working with, those things need to be on the table, especially when it comes to wanting to have a nice house, vacation, kids. All that makes a big difference, especially when you're in a relationship, especially a stable relationship.
But that's not always the case, because a lot of times when people get in relationships, they don't discuss those things. They don't discuss a house. They don't discuss vacations. They don't discuss any of that. It's more of, what can you do for me now?
That's what that's what I'm saying needs to change. So when you do bring those things up, and my education might not be the best, my upbringing might not be the best, but I like this person, what am I going to do? Am I going to sit and listen to my old lady and be like, okay, let me see what she's trying to talk about? Or vice versa? Would the woman sit and listen to this man who's not as educated as you, who's probably doesn't have as much income as you, but you still love that person? Would you follow his lead?
I only think relationships changed when women changed.
I absolutely agree with what you're saying.
I was just about to ask the same thing. Is it our fault?
It is our fault, because, we were talking about something today.
I don't think it's our fault.
It is, because
a portion of it I do.
No, it is, because what you ask for, you get. Let's be clear about this. If you ask for respect,
I think women.
No, that's why I want to make that point. Go ahead.
I think that we have evolved to be what it is we were going to be in this society, in today's world. Because listen, I don't want to talk about all the systemic things that have happened, but it starts there. And we had to become the strong one, because they were killing our men, incarcerating them. Like, we had to get to this point. We had to become more educated. Who was going to teach and clothe and put a roof over our children's head? You couldn't count on the father, because things happened to them. Things happen.
Yeah, but we were talking today. We all grew up in 2-parent homes. All of us.
Doesn't mean we grew up in parent homes that were not just functioning or had a strong male.
True.
And I will say this, that I know on my mother's side of the family, and it is what it is. There's only 2 of us. I'm talking first, second cousins, 2 of us that are married to this day. Okay. Because sometimes we become so strong, we don't need.
You think you don't need them.
I don't disagree with you. However, we have evolved to this point.
Yeah.
Honestly, call it what you will.
My opinion.
I don't need a man.
That's okay if you want one.
You know why? Because we don't have it in a lot of situations. Unpopular opinion.
But I still think that our generation, where we stopped, in my opinion, is the females that we raised after us. They may have seen that we were strong people, but a lot of these young girls that I work with, and they'll come and talk to me, everybody's auntie, well, why does he do this? He only plays on Xbox because you allow him to do that. It's okay, because you are happy that he's just physically there. We have not trained some of these younger girls to think that just them pop, dropping, and locking it was going to be the best thing for future reference. You're keeping this, unfortunately, this male young man into a role. And why should he change if you've brought him into that, saying it is already okay? Why get mad at a situation that you have absolutely enhanced?
Let's say you have somebody, they play the Xbox all day. I'm not going to train you not to play the Xbox all day. I'm not going to train, because I feel like as a man, you should know what you should bring to the table. I know as a woman what I want my man to look like. Tony, you asked a question about being able to follow a man that's not as educated as I, or not making. I could, and I have followed a man that didn't have as much education, that initially did not have as much money as me. I followed him until I realized he was about to take me off a cliff. You can follow someone, and I think women naturally are submissive, but I think that when we start looking at you, we see, oh no, it's a problem. It's a problem. And so once we realize and recognize that there's a problem, like Elisa's saying, what do I need you for? And me personally, I would never say I don't need a man. I have said this before. I'm a damsel in distress. I need a man. But what I won't do and what I won't have is a man that doesn't work and it can't lead. And as a woman, when your man can't lead, it's just simple as that. You know that.
What you were saying before, there's so many instances where you find yourself having to stand in that gap so much that you're no longer the gap. You are.
Right. And so with you're saying
are the stabilization of everything on around you.
Right. Like you're saying, the young girls are saying about the video games. It's fine. It's fine to have someone playing a video game because you and I have talked and you're on the game. You work. You go work every day. And when you're not working, I know you're going to go to the gym. I want to clear this up. I shouldn't say that like that because Reverend L is not my dude. He is my friend. But we are good friends. He's probably my male best friend. That playing on the game, I could see that. But just being home all day and playing on the game, you can get the out.
That's our age, though. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm just putting it out there that these are what these young girls are saying. They don't really want it, but they're accepting it.
No, we have to teach them. I'm in a cross-cultural relationship. My husband is Muslim, a traditional Muslim male, and so traditional male roles. Although our relationship is non-traditional because he came here in a position of weakness because he didn't speak the language and understand the culture. So I had to take the lead. And I was very resentful about that, even though I loved him very much. We went to a marriage counselor who was actually born in Syria, lived in America, married to an American Muslim, spoke French, English, and Arabic. So she understood all three cultures. And she said something to me. She said, your son is how you teach him. Your husband is how you train him.
That's interesting.
And
that makes sense in a way.
So does he now lead the household?
Oh, indeed, he leads the household.
But did that come from her professional training or from her culture?
Both, because she has an understanding of both the psychology of my husband's culture and psychology of mine, but also being a trained professional, understanding she works in America. Mm-hmm. I think it's completely true. Your son is how you teach him. The man is how you train it. You have to train I
don't know if I
really want to be training my man.
Well, now if you're getting smacked on the ass and you don't like it being smacked down, you rather be smacked up, that's a portion of training. So training is just a terminology. How you train people is always going to be different. You can't look at training as though I want you to do A, B, C, and D. No, when you make my eggs, can you put a little parsley in there?
I wasn't thinking about that simplistically at all.
No, but that's what I'm just saying, that sometimes when you use a word as big as training, you know what I'm saying? People can look at it like that's automatically going to be something here that's negative.
It's an ugly term. It's an ugly term just to be said. Like, I'm training my man. Even in the context of how you say it, it could be looked at as bad. But what you just said.
It's a different culture, too, because remember, speaking in different cultures, it was very important because my husband considers me to be his property, his possession. I am his most prized possession.
Ooh, the toxic side of me likes that.
Yeah. And so what would you do with your most prized possession?
It's protected.
Yeah. But if you said somebody, my husband, I'm his possession, I ain't nobody's possession.
So let me step outside of that real quick. Now, you talk about feminists. Mm-hmm. Feminists want to be in a relationship, some, but what you just said about the property, that's something that they'll get hung up on so tough about, and not understanding that you're not technically a property, but you're being protected and you're being provided for.
Verbiage.
Exactly. The verbiage again. And that's where I think sometimes we get our wires crossed. We get so caught up in the terms and all this other good little stuff and not thinking about what somebody's actually doing to try to benefit and make your life better with them. Because this can veer off so many different ways.
Yep.
How many men have you all known that have a woman kept, but they don't care about them? Is a difference. I can have you in my household and I can make sure that you're good, but I'm not giving you all of myself. I'm not giving you what you really want.
But what do you really want other than being cared for?
No, I'm saying for the man's role. Like, I got you. I'm married to you. You got a house, you got a car, all this other stuff. But I'm out here in the street with these hoes. But you good. So you see what I'm saying about being kept, but not being cared for.
But see that. Episode 5, The Art of Adult Friendships. You know, I haven't made a lot of friends as adults. You know, I was thinking today, Kim and I really don't know each other, but I know her through you.
Yep.
And there's an automatic thing with that. So I feel like I'm friends with Kim because Kim is friends with you and friends with people that the friend of my friends
is my friend.
Is my friend. Now,
That's not always. I don't feel that way.
it's not always the case.
Yeah.
But in this case, I feel an affinity with her because of that. And then, you know, you're hanging around with her, so she must be all right.
She gotta be all right.
She gotta be all right.
You already know.
We already
But you know,
that.
I remember Elise used to have her neighbors that she used to have in, was it Grapevine?
You talking about yeah.
What's the guy's white guy? He was so
The redneck?
cool. Yeah, and
He was.
and he did not care, but he cut for her and the family.
Yeah.
So
both of
sometimes
them
if
did.
you have good
Yeah,
neighbors,
so talk to
it's good to
Lisa.
keep
No, at least got good white friends.
wholesome ones.
Premiums.
Wholesome.
Well, premiums.
I always
believe
do.
me.
I-
Always
sometimes I
have,
feel
always
like
will.
I've had people ask me as recently as few years ago, like friends of mine, like we, our kids went to school together and stuff. We're talking about when Jordan was at least in high school, so at least 10 years ago. Asked me like, "Do you really have white friends?" And I'm like,
Yes.
"Yeah." How was I gonna come here straight from Trinidad and Tobago at the time into a predominantly white neighborhood? You think I was staying in the house? No, we're gonna go make friends. So yes, I have always had white friends. Do I consider everybody my friend? No. People say, how do you trust them? I'm like, what does that mean? Everybody starts on the same level with me.
Yeah, but this is the thing, and I have a theory about this. Every white person I've ever known, ever, has pulled rank. Doesn't mean that they don't respect me, love me, and we're
You've
not
said
friends.
that before to me.
But there will be a moment in time where they understand that they have white privilege, and they will pull the card. Not necessarily against me, but I see them do it.
I've never, my friends, I've never seen them do that.
What's funny? You said
Not
that.
G, not J,
Yeah.
not
The premiums.
The premium.
as Kim calls them.
I love them. And they love me.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all.
So I'd have to think back to some other, you know, I have white friends, but it's not like, you know.
You know what's crazy? I don't have any white friends.
But you,
I mean,
And your husband was.
So what's your point?
he wasn't your friend? Was.
Yeah, but okay. Yes, he was, or they were, because you know I've had two. They were, but we did not have friends. Like we were just together. And then when we started making friends outside of our relationship or making friends as a couple, we did not make friends with. We made friends with black people. We live in where I tell y'all from the hood.
From the hood.
So he was the postman with the pit bull dragging the two light-skinned kids around the block. And our friends, his friends, they were all black. Whatever, but I don't have any white friends. My sister-in-law is, and I love her to death, but
But the question really is, have you made any friends as adults? Like, what are your adult friendships?
what did I say? I don't have any white friends.
No.
Even as
I said adult
Oh, I'm so sorry.
friendships.
Rochelle
As
is
an
probably my
adult.
latest adult friend.
Yes.
She's probably my latest. I do have...
But I don't count because I come with years, you know what I mean?
Legacy.
Yeah, I mean,
I come with
and I was
legacy.
just saying you don't count because I've always heard about you.
Yeah.
So I knew you existed. I just didn't.
And you knew about me,
right,
who I was.
right.
And
Yeah.
look how seamless this friendship
Right.
has been.
Yeah, it has.
Right, because
So.
it does feel like a 30-plus friendship,
Yeah.
30-plus year friendship. But yeah, I just, and it's not that I don't want to make friends as an adult. I would love to make adult friends. It's just that I think that other adults, they're adults. If that makes sense. I'm an adult.
No, I'm
but
gonna
I
need
still
you
have
to.
I still have a lot of playfulness in me.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I
Oh.
meet people, they're not as playful as I, and they don't think that the playfulness is funny or cute or, you know, because they're old.
No, I get what you're saying. There are definitely people I've met. I'm like, yeah, they're too serious for me.
Right.
And maybe that's not fair. Maybe they feel the same way we do about that. Because I like to play and have fun. And yeah, I'm an adult when it's time to adult. But I like to fucking play and be silly. And I want to be able to be myself around anybody. That's why I say, like, yes, I have friends. And I only call them friends if I can be myself around you.
Correct.
Everybody else
and
is
that's
different.
the question. So at what point do you consider them a friend, or when do you consider that's my friend now? So
We got to go through some shit together.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
That's always a deciding thing for me. We got to go through some things together.
We have to really go through something.
I got to see how you're going to react.
There's something that's gonna make us bond.
Yeah.
Something is going to make us bond, and I'm gonna be able to see that I can trust you. Now you're gonna be my friend.
then you're just acquaintance. Or,
Yeah, absolutely.
See, I don't feel that way.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like a relationship. like you're drawn to that person, and then there's almost like a falling in love period, but a platonic love. Do you know what I mean? It has to be, I have to be drawn to that person for any reason.
They can start there.
Yeah, and then once we, bond in that situation, I don't make friends as an adult in that way at all, because I'm not interested. I'm not interested in making friends like that. I have a large family and really close friends. Mm-hmm. When I don't consider many people to be my friend. I have a lot of acquaintances.
Right.
But I ain't gonna put no money on your books. I'm not gonna help you move.
So whenever I introduce you as my friend, I mean that. And that would hurt some people's feelings. Like, y'all met my friends, my neighbors down the street. I introduced them as my neighbor, and they were offended by that. And I was like, listen, let me tell you who I am. I'm not saying we'll never be friends. I'm just saying we've never been through anything. And until we've been through some shit, we can't be friends, because I need to know who you are, and I don't know who you are until I've seen you go through some shit, or we've been through some shit together. How about that?
I see on Facebook, it's weird because now it's popping up on my Facebook where they have this group where it's women over a certain age. They're looking for friends, and so they have a picture of themselves. Hi, I'm 40. I just moved into the area. Right, I do this. I was like, I don't feel right about this.
But you know what, Shell? Some people listen. We were just talking about this earlier.
Kobe.
Because it's hard. It's not just us. These kids have a hard time having real friends like this. This. This is 30 something. This is damn near 40.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So people don't have friendships like that. They don't. And it's hard for these kids.
Folks are jealous
with all the social media and stuff. And this shit ain't easy. Being friends with y'all ain't easy.
No.
Bitch, it ain't easy with you.
I know that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not easy. It's never been easy. It's always been worth it.
But see, like with you, you're saying that, and I get it, right? Yeah. I understand what you're saying. But with you and I think we've always had a very easy friendship. Yeah. From the time we met in school until now. Like we said the other day, I think it was you. Yeah. You said it like, this is the most we've seen each other, the most we've talked in years. And it is the truth, because we've had such an easy friendship. Like we might not have talked for months and then pick up with the conversation.
But it wasn't as a friendship. Like you were my roommate.
Right.
And we never argue. We never.
But I think it's because our personalities are so very similar. Like, is it though? I think we're just both laid back, and it's just what it is. That's what I think it is.
We never had a big falling out. But outside of that friendship, you're gonna go through some things with and I don't mean you're gonna argue with your friends. I just mean I need to see you in a situation where I know that bitch got my back.
Yeah. Right.
Literally.
And how you talk about other people is a big indication.
Mm-hmm. Like, I know, like I said earlier, like Kobe moved there to Austin with Callie. And at one time, Callie was kind of like, I won't say struggling, but she's a little bit more active in things now. She plays softball. She on a softball team, and they play kickball and all of that. But when she first moved to Austin, all of her friends had moved back here to Houston. She was kind of struggling, like she didn't really have any friends there in Austin. So now Kobe is there in Austin as well, and all of his friends are in San Antonio. So it's a struggle, I think, because she was saying like he doesn't have anybody outside of us. He doesn't do anything. He's just here. He just has us, but it's hard. And it's really weird for me to hear that he has no friends outside of them there in Austin, because he's always the one that'll walk up to you, and he's friendly, he's talk to you, and then when he introduces you, he will say, this is my friend. He could meet you, Mac, and talk to you 20 minutes and then introduce you as his friend, or call you this is my friend. You don't know that person, but to him you're a friend. So it's weird to hear that he doesn't really have friends in Austin. That's weird to me. But
being friendly doesn't make automatic friends.
No, it doesn't. But he considers most people his friend. Yeah. Or growing up, I would tell him, baby, that's not your friend. That's just somebody you know. No, Mom, that's my friend. And
until proven otherwise in his eyes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And my problem is I'm the friendliest introvert you'll ever meet.
I will never call you introvert. I don't care how much you say it, Shell.
Yeah, but
it works for her and the people in her head. They say
it's got to be people in her head. No, you're not an introvert. It doesn't mean you're not private, but you're not an introvert.
Okay then.
You can't be an introvert. I'm an introvert. I'm more of an introvert than you are. I'm an introverted extrovert. How about that? But when I met you in 7th grade, like less than a quarter of a mile, right down the street, right outside that door, and I could point to it. You're like, hi, my name's Rochelle. What's your name? Like, that is not introvert behavior.
Yeah, but doesn't mean I really like people.
It doesn't mean that either, but you're not an introvert.
Yeah. I'm not afraid of people.
You can hold a conversation with anybody.
Yeah, because I'm not afraid of people.
Okay.
And I learned that from my mom. And I it's really interesting because I noticed a lot of people aren't like that. My mom was very humble. Humility means no one's better than you, nobody's worse than
Absolutely.
you. And because when you really truly feel that way, you understand we're all on the same level. So I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of authority. I'm not starstruck. I just it's not a thing I've ever had. And so it's always given me they say it's confidence, but it's just everybody's exactly the same. I've always seen it that way. Thank you for being here with us today. We appreciate all the listeners and everybody who's following us. I want to thank my friends, Elise, Kim, and Mo, and my
Shell.
You stole on that. You forgot our name.
Be sure.
I'm 50. That's that 50 plus.
I'm 50
Be
plus.
sure to like, share, and subscribe.
Thank
Follow.
you. Bye.
We have come to the end of our conversation. We certainly thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again. Always remember that the journey of friendship is built on the path of loyalty, acceptance, and grace.